Hello, I'm Catherine Davis. I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist, and what I wanted to talk about today is how to use daily routines, in this case bath time, to target your child's language skills, primarily language. So this one is going to be for those kiddos who are not yet using true words to communicate. So when they're upset or frustrated or really want something, they might just cry. Right? They just cry and they try to grab stuff and they can't, instead of just saying help or want or more, they're not using those true words to communicate what they want. Or they're grabbing you and taking you to what they want, say in the kitchen. I hear that a lot of times. Or they're just grabbing stuff and they're not, like I said, using true words to communicate. So, like I said, we're going to do this during bath time. So I've got my little tub and my baby in my tub. So as far as toys during bath time, so we put the kiddo in the tub, but instead of just taking all the toys and dumping them in the tub, I'm going to keep them in a box, because then that gives me control to give opportunities to communicate and work on some attention skills, and we'll talk about that in a second. So I've got all of the toys in the box. We're going to start with giving choices of what we're going to put in the tub, right? Because we're only going to give one toy at a time, and I've got the box of toys out of reach, so maybe you could put it outside of the tub so they can't just stand up and reach over and grab it, but a little bit further away, or maybe on the toilet out of reach, but it's still in sight, so they know that those toys are still there, and they tempt them a little bit to ask for more. So I'm going to give them a choice between this little birdie and the cup. So you want the birdie or the cup, and a lot of times kiddos will just reach and grab both. Does that sound familiar? They'll just grab both things that are in front of them, and that's when I'm saying, oh, wait, no, just one. Pick one toy. So we're forcing them to make a choice between the two toys. Sometimes it's still hard for them to make choices, and that's okay. Whichever one they look to, or they reach out and happen to touch on accident, even if they're just kind of grabbing, go with that. Just pick that toy, okay? Because we want them to know that you looked at it or you touched it, and that's how I know what you want. We're just developing those basic communication skills. So say they picked a cup. So I'm going to take the cup and we're going to put it in the water, and we're going to start with some motor imitation. I'm going to scoop, pour the water, scoop, pour the water. So I'm talking about what I'm doing, and then I'm going to give the cup to them and say, you do. And if we need to do hand over hand at first, that's okay, but we're scooping and pour the water. Your turn. Scoop, pour the water. And I'm still talking about what they're doing using simple, very simple language, but we're working on some motor imitation. The other thing you're doing is when you have one toy in the water, just that one item, we're practicing some joint attention. So we're both paying attention to that one item that's in the water. They're not over here playing with the cup, and I'm over here trying to get them to pay attention with the bird, right? We're both paying attention to what's in the water, which is the cup. So that allows them to be a little more focused when you want them to imitate that motor movement. So we're pouring the water, pour, pour. If they can't imitate that sound, pour, pour, then that's great. You can do this with maybe like a little rubber ducky. We're going to make the ducky swim. We're going to make him swim in the water, swim, swim, and I'll say whack, quack, quack, or you can simplify it to whack, whack. That's okay if they're just learning to imitate. We're going to make it float on the water, whack, whack, whack. Your turn, whack, whack, whack. Good job. Good sounds. I like your sounds. But again, we're both paying attention to that one thing. You can do it with a boat as well, and the boat goes pa, pa, pa. Look at that boat go, pa, pa, pa. So are you making that boat go in the water? And then, of course, you have all of your toys over here. If they could play with that ducky or that cup for forever, what I kind of like to do sometimes is remind them, because they can see it, right? But I like to remind them that I do have the other toys as an option, which makes them be like, oh, I'm done with this cup. I want to play with something different. So I kind of shake it, and then they'll show, clearly be done because they would be trying to reach and grab something different. And then that's where I can show them, okay, you're all done with the cup. Let's do that. All done. You might have to do hand over hand. All done. That's just a simple sign, kind of baby sign for all done. And then I'm going to take the cup and put it in the bucket. And then they're like, they want some more toys, right? They're trying to find how to get it, or they're crying maybe. And this is where you can show them more, and then you can take their hands and do more toys. So we're just using our hands to communicate that. And again, going back to giving choices between the toys, right? Like I talked about before. So those are all little things you can do while you're playing with the toys in the bathtub, just to target those really early developing social interaction, some hand signs, basic single words, I will say, because we'll consider that as a word. Even if they're imitating that verbal word, then that's good too. But keeping our language really simple and modeling that for them throughout the whole bath time. And like I said, we're keeping control of all the toys offered by putting them in a bucket out of their reach. The other things that this does is a couple of things, because I know that sometimes it's hard to stop bath time and move on to something else like drying off and brushing our teeth. That's not as much fun, and going to bed. So the thing is though, once we're done with the toys in the bucket, then that's it. We're all done. We've already been through all of the toys. So at this point, we've already taken them out and we've already done them all. We're done with the toys, and now it's time to wash, and you can help, do some motor imitation with washing. Now we've washed and we're all done with that. They might protest a little bit and refuse, which just means they don't want to get out. They don't want to be done, but we're all done with the toys. So we're going to tell the toys bye-bye. Let's do a little wave where you can do bye-bye. So we're doing some more imitation. Bye-bye, ball. Put it in the bucket. Bye-bye. Let's see, Elmo, bye-bye, Elmo, bye-bye. Yeah, we're telling them bye-bye. So we're making it still really fun, and they're not super excited to do it probably, but we're still modeling that super simple bye-bye, or the motor imitation with a little wave there. And also kind of getting some following directions and showing them that the activity is all done, some compliance. That's okay to clean up the toys. So anyway, those are some things you can do during bath time, specifically with those really early developing communicators that don't quite have some words yet, to build in some opportunities for signs. So that one was more. We can do this for finished. Water, those are maybe some ones that will come into play when you guys are doing bath time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to make a couple more if this doesn't quite apply to your kiddo, for some different levels of language skills that will apply to other kiddos. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But this is going to be super fun, and I hope it's helpful. Thanks.